400 years ago, when the world was yet to be fully explored, a remarkable connection was forged between two distant lands, Manila in the Philippines and Acapulco in Mexico. These two ports became inextricably linked through a trade route controlled by a European colonial power thousands of kilometers away from both of them. Huge ships laden with treasures plied the waters between these lands at a time when sea travel was perilous and journeys could take many months. This was called the Manila-Acapulco Galleon. It continued for an incredible 250 years from 1565 to 1815 and was an early example of globalization fueled by colonialism, trade and discovery. How did this trade route come about? What impact did it have on Manila, on Mexico and the wider world? And what brought about its ultimate decline? Stay connected if you want to find out more, and please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you would like to discover more curious connections around the world. In the 16th century, the Spanish Empire had reached its height. During the reign of Charles V of Spain, the country grew to rule over a vast empire that included territories in Europe, the Americas, Africa and Asia. Famous navigators who sailed under the Spanish crown were renowned the world over for discovering new routes to distant lands. One such navigator, Andres de Urdaneta, an Augustinian friar and explorer, built upon his predecessors' prior discoveries and navigational knowledge. Recognizing the potential for trade, Urdaneta, as part of an expedition led by Miguel López de Legazpi, proposed a direct route connecting New Spain to the Philippines. With the support of the Spanish court and under the leadership of Legazpi, the first Manila-Acapulco galleon set sail in 1565, marking the beginning of a new era in global maritime trade. The primary purpose of the galleon trade was to facilitate the exchange of goods between the Spanish colonies in the Americas and Asia. Little did Urdaneta or the Spanish court guess how incredibly profitable this venture would become for the Spanish Empire. Ships in Manila were loaded up with highly sought after items that fetched exorbitant prices in other parts of the world. Items such as spices from the Maluku Islands in modern-day Indonesia, porcelain and ceramics from the port of Canton in China, present-day Guangzhou, silk and textiles from China and other parts of Southeast Asia. Upon arrival in Acapulco, the goods were transported overland to the port of Veracruz on the Gulf of Mexico, from where they were shipped to Spain, other parts of the Spanish Empire and Europe. Silver and other metals from mines in South America were the main cargo on the journey back to Manila. The silver served as a medium of exchange and played a crucial role in facilitating trade with Asian merchants. The returning galleons from Acapulco also included religious missionaries who sought to spread Christianity in the newly colonized lands of the Philippines. The galleon trade route not only facilitated commerce and Christianity, but also led to significant cultural exchange, influencing the arts, cuisine and traditions in both Manila and Acapulco. It served as a lifeline for the Spaniards in Manila, as it was one of the most important means of communication with Spain. The frequency of the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade was surprisingly low, with only a few voyages completed each year. However, despite the limited number of voyages, the profitability of the cargo was immense by today's standards. Historical sources suggest that merchants could earn up to 300% profit on their investments. The value of certain goods, such as a roll of silk, was worth up to 10 times more in the Americas than in Manila. Moreover, the taxation imposed on the galleon trade generated substantial revenue for the Spanish crown. Galleons typically set sail from Manila in July or August to take advantage of the southwest monsoon winds and ocean currents that would help them cross the Pacific. The return voyage from Acapulco usually began in March or April, aligning with the northward current. The journey took about 4 to 6 months, subject to variations caused by the weather, the galleon's size, and other navigational challenges. Crossings were perilous, shipwrecks were common, as was piracy due to the galleon's expensive cargo. Even if the crossing was successful, many sailors died along the way from disease or starvation. It's interesting to note that the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade route was not a continuous journey, and the galleons made several stops along the way in places such as Guam and the Mariana Islands to resupply and take on fresh water. Eventually, however, political changes, technological advancements, shifting economies, and the opening of alternative trade routes like the Suez Canal led to the decline of the galleon trade in the 19th century. The Mexican War of Independence, which started in 1810, marked a turning point, and the last Manila galleon sailed in 1815, symbolic perhaps of Spain's power also waning and that of others rising to take its place. Spain eventually ceded the Philippines to the United States after being defeated in the Spanish-American War in 1898. The United States established a colonial administration over the islands and introduced democratic and educational reforms. Japanese occupation of the Philippines during World War II, however, created severe hardships for the people and widespread devastation and destruction in Manila. The road to self-determination for the Filipino people was long and complex, but the Republic of the Philippines was finally established in 1946. The newly independent nation faced further challenges, including periods of martial law, political upheaval, and economic turbulence. It continues to face challenges, but despite these has emerged as a modern, democratic, and increasingly prosperous nation. If you visit Manila today, you might wonder if any remnants of the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade remain. This bustling metropolis of 25 million people, once overlooked by international travelers, is undergoing a remarkable transformation as the city and the country develop. Bonifacio Global City, a newly developed district, showcases Manila's modern infrastructure and vibrant urban atmosphere, and could easily be mistaken for the more modern parts of Singapore and Hong Kong. Makati, traditionally the financial, commercial, and business heart of Manila, is also a modern, comfortable, and trendy part of the city. As you explore the streets of Makati, you will come across places like Legazpi Village and Urdaneta Park, names that hark back to the era of the Manila Galleon. However, it is in the district of Old Manila itself, the historic heart of the city, where you will find Intramuros, the original Spanish stronghold in Manila. Legazpi declared Manila the capital of the Spanish East Indies in 1571, and Intramuros preserves the true links to this period of Filipino history. Fort Santiago, founded by Legazpi, this citadel was a key defensive structure of the Spanish authorities during the galleon trade era. Manila Cathedral, reconstructed over the centuries, the cathedral stands as a symbol of the ecclesiastical authority Spain wielded over the Philippines. San Agustin Church, the oldest stone church in the Philippines, built by the Spanish in 1571. It also houses a museum that showcases relics from the galleon trade. Ayuntamiento de Manila, once the center of the Spanish administration in the Philippines, it represents the political structures Legazpi established. The Manila Acapulco Galleon Monument. This monument within Intramuros commemorates the trade route that forged links between Asia and the Americas. Beyond the streets of Manila lies a nation of over 7,000 islands, offering visitors a breathtaking natural landscape and a rich tapestry of culture shaped by its Spanish colonial past. If you have the opportunity to visit this beautiful country, here are some places not to be missed. The pristine beaches of El Nido and Coron in Palawan, the vibrant nightlife, perfect sand, and amazing sunsets of Boracay, the UNESCO World Heritage City of Vigan with its cobbled streets and colonial-era homes, the beauty of Bohol, known for its white beaches, cute tarsiers, and the stunning chocolate hills. More remote islands like the haunted island of Siquijor, known for its mystique, its waterfalls, forests, and beaches. On a recent trip to the Philippines, I discovered lesser-known places that blend the new and the old. Iloilo, a bustling regional city, captivated me with its modern developments, trendy restaurants and cafes, alongside revitalized plazas and historic buildings. Landmarks such as Plaza Libertad and Miagao Church evoke the Spanish colonial era and the Manila galleon trade. I felt the same in other cities like Bacolod and Dumaguete, underrated destinations that, in my opinion, deserve more recognition. Despite its tumultuous history, the Philippines now stands at a promising crossroads. Its young, vibrant, Catholic and well-educated population is a valuable resource in an era marked by declining birth rates and aging societies in other countries, including its former colonial masters. Though, just as the Manila Acapulco Galleon once carried treasures across the oceans, today the Philippines' most valuable commodity is its own people, who move abroad to work as overseas foreign workers. The nation has one of the highest rates of overseas workers globally, and their remittances are a lifeline for families and fuel the nation's growth at home. Just as the country relied on the profits earned by the Manila Acapulco Galleon centuries ago, it seems like the Philippines also depends on this money earned by its people in foreign lands. As the country continues to develop, I look forward to the day that this tide of people turns and the Philippines thrives on its own terms, charting a course towards a new kind of independence on the horizon.